The following program has been rated TVMA for scenes of graphic political discourse, poorly written and poorly timed jokes, lack of adherence to current social norms, racially motivated violence, condemnation of the office of the President of the United States, disregard for the safety of others, nonsensical non sequiturs, jokes that go on way too long, funny animal antics, and television writers who tried their hardest. This is the result of their efforts. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Back in the very first episode of the show, I took a shot at the football team for being trash for most of my time here in Murray. And now they're doing the best they've done in years. So I guess the joke's on me. I don't think anyone could have predicted this. I even clowned on them again when I didn't invite them to my birthday party.
I know that some of you out there might have found my Big Bang joke offensive in episode 5. I realized that it was an insensitive of me and I didn't take into account others' thoughts and feelings when writing, shooting, and editing it.
I wrote my Foot app review for episode 3 with the sole intention of making people laugh. Much to my dismay, most people found it, well, gross and distasteful. I've come to realize it was highly immoral of me to subject our unsuspecting audience to more than 2 minutes of foot-based rambling.
I want to apologize for making fun of so many different ways of thinking during my conspiracy theory segment in episode 4. Having dyed half my hair brown, I know how it feels to be disrespected for something that makes you special. Then again, I don't know if I'd call what you people believe in special. It's more like disease. I mean, sure, maybe I shouldn't have taken away your credibility by exposing how stupid your theories were, but if you really believe in Bigfoot, then you might want to seek some help.
Why am I here? I haven't said anything bad yet.
I'd like to offer a sincere apology to China, who was the butt of many jokes in episode 4 and 5. Now, it was childish of us to hammer in the anal swab a bit so hard, just, oh! And openly accusing you of all genocide was a mistake we all hope not to make again.
But I guess I was wrong, and so I'd like to say I'm sorry.
And so I'd like to say sorry.
I know I can't excuse what I've done, but I have a totally valid excuse for what I've done.
We won't throw you under the bus, China. We won't make you look bad ever again.
Sorry that y'all decided not to be garbage for the first time in 25 years. I mean, seriously. I make one joke and y'all decide to embarrass me like that? Not cool, dudes.
Sorry that you all got offended over such a lame joke. I mean, seriously, people, don't you have better things to do? I don't hate gay people, I hate everyone. And how can I be homophobic? I lived in a home for 18 years. Get it together and stop being offended by every little thing someone says that you don't like. Suck it up, Buttercup.
How was I supposed to not do the feet segment? I can't help it that feet are so gosh darn delectable. If the rest of you could wrap your feeble minds around how sensational feet are, then you wouldn't have found it so gross, now would you?
I'm so sorry that some of you out there actually are insane in the head. It must be hard being that stupid. Get a life, you freaks.
You're doing a pretty good job of making yourselves look bad, as it is. I mean, let's be honest. At this point, there's no need for any of us to make fun of you anymore. Listen, China, anytime you want to check my rear for COVID, just let me know.
Words can hurt, so the best thing to do is to think about everything you're going to say, and then don't say it.
Don't even censor your words. Just don't say them at all. Stay silent about everything.
Because the moment you want to say something slightly out of line, the thought police will come for you and make you feel their wrath.
The only thing you need to do as a person is not be offensive. And the best way to do that is to conform to the new normal. Join us.
After all, it's better to violate my human rights than to offend someone. I mean, that's the lesson we're all supposed to learn, right?
Although April Fool's is a bit out of sight, welcome one and all to MSU Tonight.
You suck.
What'd they bring us in here for? Oh, look, he's like Homer Simpson at the nuclear plant.
This is such a Joe Harris moment.
The fun fact, both these guys changed their hair.
Nice sweater, Mr. Rogers. Cut the mics, cut the mics!
Yo, get a load of these virgins. I feel like I'm at an AA meeting. Oh man, they subbed it in terrorism.
Dudes, let's get out of here.
Yo, live action intro. Cringe.
Welcome to the 100th episode of MSU Tonight this season. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and if you don't sin just a little bit, then Jesus died for nothing.
I'd say Easter Sunday did a solid job reminding us of that.
Dustin, why haven't you died for our sins?
Quite frankly, my death would be uneventful and meaningless.
If you haven't figured it out yet, this is our April Fool's special.
Although it's a few days late. Just like most women who start to worry when they think they're pregnant.
We've got a lot of fun stuff planned for you all tonight, and we've done a lot of work preparing for this episode. Coming up on the show,
We commit a heinous hate crime.
we host a Murray's Sexiest Child pageant.
And we have a plate of pasta. For you. Because you've earned it. Open wide for Daddy.
We'll also have
Kenny Imes' dirty laundry hung high on the downtown Confederate monument he loves so dearly.
the top 10 ways to deal with explosive diarrhea.
And the real reason why Dr. Bob Jackson couldn't be on the show tonight.
But wait, there's more. On top of that, we'll also have
The difference between a lentil and a chickpea.
we have a serious talk with the CEO of racism,
And plenty more provocative things I flat out refuse to say on live television.
like poop and fart.
And poggers.
But before we get arrested for violating Article 3 of the Geneva Conventions, I think it's time for some old school hot topics.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson vetoed a ban on gender treatments for transgender youth. Governor Hutchinson was quoted saying the piece of legislation, if passed, would have interfered with doctors, and most importantly parents, as they deal with some of the most complex and sensitive matters involving young people. Congrats to Arkansas for choosing to uphold basic human rights and finally giving a positive meaning to the term, keeping it in the family.
This past weekend, several people across the country were celebrating the holiday of Easter. Now let's take a peek into our very own Samuel Stewart's family Easter.
With Easter just now passing, I decided to give us a first-hand look into my personal family traditions when it comes to the holiday. We've always held Easter as a very important holiday and do a lot of different things to celebrate it. Some of the things that we usually do is decorate a bunch inside, put stuff up outside in our front yard, and even have an Easter-themed wreath on our front door. Some other things that we do are usually just some small Easter egg hunts for my younger cousin, and at night before Easter, we all dye a few hard-boiled eggs, and then the morning after, the eggs will be placed in some of the Easter egg baskets for everyone. My grandmother, Susan Spratt, also believes Easter is more than just about the candy.
Easter is like the new beginning of the year for me and for my family. We get together and we just enjoy one another's company. We like to eat, obviously, and we just like to do things together and be able to sit and talk and laugh and have a good time. And in the last year, we really missed that because of COVID. So this year, it's all like starting all over again.
And when it comes to starting all over again, you usually take that time to reflect on past experiences, especially Easter-related ones. My family has always had something going on, whether it be the family meals or Easter egg hunts. Out of all these things, though, my grandmother had her very own favorite Easter memory.
One of my favorite Easter memories is singing. And me and my 3 daughters, every year at church we would go and we would sing at the special services that they had. And that was a family thing. We would do that together and celebrate with the Alleluias and the resurrection story. And so that's really important in my memory over the last few years. So singing is important part of all of our celebrations, but Easter was especially important.
Need to get the COVID vaccine? Don't walk away. Murray State is giving out Moderna vaccines with no cost or insurance required at the CFSB Center. If you aren't a member of Murray State University, there are also vaccines available at select pharmacies such as Walmart, Kroger, and Walgreens. Look at that car leaving. We don't know for sure if they got their vaccine, but hopefully they'll get it soon. Stay healthy and continue to wear your masks, everyone.
On April 1st, Nintendo officially ended their celebration of Super Mario's 35th anniversary. Many Nintendo fans have vocally voiced their frustration with the company after their decisions to stop selling Super Mario 3D All-Stars, shut down the servers for Super Mario Bros. 35, stop production of the Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. System, and more. The sudden purge of some Mario-related content caused some fans to jokingly call April 1st the day that Mario would die. In related news, we regret to inform you that Mario Segali, otherwise known as Super Mario, was pronounced dead at 9:13 p.m. at New York Presbyterian Hospital in New York City on March 31st. Flagpoles across the Mushroom Kingdom will be lowered to half staff for the remainder of the week.
Have you ever wondered about what a lobbyist does or what their job means? Well, we have Esty Harris to tell you about it.
I am a lobbyist, and I lobby the Tennessee General Assembly, and the name of my firm is Harris Frazier Government Relations. The legislature is in session right now, so my days consist of meetings with legislators and attending committee hearings and floor sessions of the legislature. My primary job is to represent my clients and their interests before the members of the General Assembly. I do that by expressing support for bills and resolutions that my clients favor and expressing opposition for those pieces of legislation that my clients oppose.
Hey, that was pretty neat.
Well, Cade, you did something pretty neat yourself last weekend. While most people last weekend sought victory in egg hunts, my good buddy Cade nabbed a massive dub in something a little different. Let's take a look, shall we?
Welcome to the Hollywood Gamer Cave of one Cade Utterback, a second-year student here at Murray State University. In this very room, fueled by RC Cola and unbridled determination, Cade neglects his studies to best a long-standing record on an ancient relic for the Atari 2600 known simply as Race. Cade achieved his sky-high score of 18 by exploiting an oversight in the game's design.
The game checks for lap completions at weird times, and in this case I believe that the intervals are somewhere along the middle line of the screen. Because if you were to go around completely, obviously you score a lap. But if you drive around in the middle, you don't score a lap. However, I found that if you bump into the top and bottom walls and then proceed to drive in a circle in the middle, you can actually hit a point that will count a lap each time you hit that point and go around in a circle.
Cade plans to submit his score to record-keeping organization Twin Galaxies for official documentation. Only time will tell whether his exploit is considered valid on the leaderboard. I'm Dustin Wilcox for MSU Tonight.
Well, that's all we have for Hot Topics this week.
Stay tuned. After the break, we've got another wonderful interview with another special and unsuspecting victim. Guest. Don't go anywhere. There's more MSU Tonight coming up after the break.
Closed captioning and other consideration for MSU Tonight provided by
You.
Standing here now, sipping the good stuff, takes me back to simpler times. Memories of Pa taking me fishing, heading north to see my folks every year, and winning that state championship back in high school. Life tastes sweeter when I'm drinking something special. I don't know how you do it, but never change Esperanza beer. Never change.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody. I'm just enjoying a little bit of the finest beer known to man.
Oh, you brought some Coors?
What? No.
So you brought some Bud Light then?
Not a chance.
Miller Lite? Busch? Leinenkugel? Yingling?
Not even close.
Then what are you drinking?
It's Esperanza. It's Spanish for flavor,
I don't think it is.
I took 3 years worth of Spanish classes, and I'm pretty sure it is.
Esperanza beer. It's Spanish for flavor. Or something like that.
MSU Tonight is the worst TV show I've ever seen.
I honestly don't see an issue with it.
It's crass.
Listen, China, anytime you want to check my rear for COVID, just let me know.
It's immature.
Oh, I made the dog pee. That dog's peeing now.
And worst of all, I don't get any of the jokes.
If only our audience understood that joke.
I think MSU Tonight should be banned in all countries.
That's fair. But what isn't banned in China these days?
Don't watch MSU Tonight next Tuesday at 5 on MSU TV 11. Wait a minute, is this a promo?
Welcome back to MSU Tonight. Tonight's guest hails from Eastern Europe, has been teaching fine arts at Murray State for 23 years. Please welcome the one and only ZB Smetana. How are you doing today, ZB?
I'm doing great.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks for having me over.
Hey, it's no problem. We're just glad that you wanted to come in today. Like I was saying during the break, I had you my first semester, and I really enjoyed your class. Yes. I think you're an excellent speaker, I will say. I love your accent. I just want you to know.
Hopefully people don't just listen to my accent, but also what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I listen to what you're saying. It's just you can sell me on anything.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I'd start by asking, what drew you to teach about art at the collegiate level?
Well, just to, and it's another mistake, but to clarify, I teach history of art as opposed to just people who would think that I teach
mistake.
drawing
I
or something. No. It's in Department of Art, so it's logical. But so I just talk about art as opposed to making art, although I also did when I was an undergraduate. But what I like about the history of art is I like about it the interconnectivity between many different fields, just general history, art, obviously, but also there comes in psychology, religion, even science, like if you think about how things are made, economics, because frankly people without money cannot afford art, and so on. And so it's kind of, I like the holistic kind of view that history of art affords.
I remember you showing us a whole lot of stuff of how art cannot just be, it's not just paintings. You told specifically it's not just paintings, it's not just drawings. It does revolve around a lot of society, and society can revolve a lot around it. It has a lot of influence, and I think that, I'm going to be honest, because that was my first semester, I don't remember too much, but I do remember you showing me Burt Reynolds, so that's... But,
yes, part of it is, a lot of people don't realize that if you look at human history, and I'm going all the way to prehistory, let's say 50,000 years, I will cut it short, most of our communication, most of our expression, most of what we have is pre-literary or non-literary. So yes, of course, we have books nowadays. Everybody thinks that what we think is in smart writing, kind of, or written down. But actually, most cultures, if you look at it temporally, did not have or did not leave any written records, or they left records that we cannot read, which is a whole another thing. And so. And nowadays, look at this studio, look at this setup, look at YouTube, look at Snapchat and everything. Communication is moving progressively, yet again, towards visuals. We are bombarded by visual messages, and so visual literacy, being able to critically discern what the visuals are doing to you, is, I think, absolutely essential for modern life. Not that I'm against being able to read and write, but so I think that it's essential.
Do you have a favorite medium? I know that it's really simple to ask, like, oh, do you like drawings? Do you like paintings? But is there something that appeals to you more than it does any other medium?
It would be a toss-up for me. It would be a toss-up between drawing and painting. Painting because I like the texture and I like the color. Drawing shows most immediately artists thinking. Yeah. And so for that, if you want some kind of view of the artist's process and how they. And I'm not talking about highly finished drawings. I'm just like the sketches and all of that kind of. It really,
just getting that on the paper. Yeah, it's not always easy to. I can find it sometimes not always easy to perfectly capture what I'm thinking up here, but something as simple as a sketch can get that idea down, at least in some form. And I think that's a really important thing to start at, even if you can expand upon it later, or you can just leave it as it is. But it's a really unique way to express thought that sometimes literature can't express.
Absolutely, and there's research, neurological research, that drawing actually does something to your brain, that commits things to memory. It expresses certain ideas that other modes of expression cannot.
Yeah. Do you think that something like toy cars can represent art?
Hey, Kay, do you want to play with us?
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Sure. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of something.
Hey, maybe we should set it up right here. That's a pretty good space.
Sure.
Oh my goodness, he's
love Hot Wheels.
Awesome. Okay, let's do this. So
only if I'm allowed to win, though.
Oh, well.
Well, hey, we have a track here that has a little thing at the end, and it can show you who wins.
You can choose your favorite car if you're so inclined.
Do they all fit in the thing? Did we test that?
Ah, this one.
All right.
I don't think the truck
Well,
fits.
we don't know for sure, but we're about to find out.
I'll take this one.
Okay. Let's do it, everybody.
You can step over here if you'd like.
Yeah.
As long as we keep, it's all right. As long as we keep our mics on, we should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I'll put mine in
let's go
orange.
first. I suppose Cade and...
Well, mine is
Put
blue.
yours in blue, and what I'll have Nick press down on both of them at the same time if you can. Can you do that, Nick?
Let's get Dustin to do this one.
Okay. Dustin, push down on the orange one. Nick, you push down on the blue one. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, dang.
I think I was a little early. Well, you know,
nobody won.
I suppose I got farther.
Oh, well, okay. Can I borrow it so I can try it?
Sure.
I want to play. We will not use secondary players. We will do it ourselves.
In 3, 2, 1. We just don't. We lack the power.
Yes.
We lack the power.
I didn't want to like smash it.
We really...
Oh, well. There we go.
Come on! Oh!
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Oh, man.
I really thought we were going to win at least one of these races.
Well, hey,
camera.
you know what really wins the power of friendship?
That's true.
Lovely sentiment.
Just 4 people playing cars.
It's not important to win, it's important to participate.
Oh, man.
He makes a good point.
That's the Olympic Games motto, isn't it? Something like that.
To be honest, I don't know. But I'll take
They're
the
wise words, I'll say that.
No, it's something like that.
I hate to break it to you, but that's pretty much the joke we had planned for your interview today.
That's okay.
I got to ask you a few serious questions, though, and I really did enjoy getting to pick your brain for a little bit at the least, and we hope you had a little bit of fun with this.
I did, and I mean, my kids, my younger one just is graduating from high school, so they will be both in college next year, and so my days of playing with Hot Wheels are over, but those are good memories.
Well, maybe it brought you a little bit of happy nostalgia.
Yes,
at least
absolutely.
That's the hope. Well, everyone, I'd like to thank ZB Smetna for being such a good sport for us. If you're interested in learning fine arts here at Murray State, there's no other professor like ZB. I speak from personal experience. You can ask Dustin. He had a class with him, too. To find out for yourself, make sure to sign up for Art 211, Art 213, Honors 161, or Art 319 next fall. That being said, there's still more MSU Tonight to come, so stay tuned after the break for more of the show that we might regret putting on our resumes in a few years. MSU Tonight will be right back.
The second half of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
These are some of the events that changed the landscape of American history.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
They're the greatest things to ever grace the face of television. Watched by millions upon millions all over the world.
Sorry, we're closed.
And now, in the year 2021, we present to you the latest and greatest television phenomenon to ever grace the screen. Okay, we may have oversold it a bit. MSU Tonight. It may not be as notorious as the moon landing, but at least our show actually happened.
It all happened in a dang soundstage in California.
No, that is crazy. I would say that.
Yes.
Welcome back to MSU Tonight. I'm here with Cade, and we'll be discussing our thoughts on an unpopular opinion in a segment that we like to call In Defense Of. So, Cade, what are we going to be talking about today?
What we're going to be talking about is what I like to call the second era of Tom and Jerry. Did you watch Tom and Jerry growing up when it would air on Cartoon Network?
I sure did.
Did you ever notice these really weird, spaced out feeling ones, like choppy animation, weird synthesized sound effects, and all around it just didn't feel like Tom and Jerry? Did you ever notice that?
Oh goodness, yes. I know what you mean.
This is what's known as the Gene Deitch era, and they call it that because Gene Deitch was the director of 13 shorts between 1961 and 62. Tom and Jerry has been produced, well, it was created and it was majorly produced by Hanna-Barbera, the people that went on to make Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo even. But when their studio closed down in the late 50s, Gene Deitch took over as the director for these 13 shorts. And while they received critical praise at the time, a lot of people don't look back on them fondly. I mean, sure, a lot of this isn't necessarily what we would consider traditional Tom and Jerry, but I mean, even the idea of a cat and mouse that go after each other so much isn't necessarily realistic, is it?
I suppose not. So you're saying these shorts have their own special place in the Tom and Jerry sort of library? I
think they do. I think they're charming, necessarily due to the fact that these were produced on 1/5 of the budget of the original cartoons. So getting $10,000 to make 7 minutes worth of animation is something that is unheard of. It's always been unheard of, but these guys had to do what they could with what they had, and I think they did a pretty good job. What say you?
Well, that's a fair point you make. Even though as a kid I recognized that I didn't like these shorts as much as the iconic William Hanna and Joseph Barbera shorts. Yeah, I mean, they got a sort of weird charm if you can look at them as an anomaly.
The last thing I'd like to point to is that, and it's not necessarily saying, oh, well, just because this, there is a worse incarnation of Tom and Jerry out there, one that I consider to be the worst Tom and Jerry ever made. There was a 15-episode television series from 1980. It's called The Tom and Jerry Comedy Show. It's never seen a DVD release. In fact, I'm pretty sure Warner wants to forget that it ever even happened. It has worse animation than this. It has worse music than this. The storylines don't make any sense. And if you thought this stuff was out of this world, then by golly, you should come up to my dorm and I will show you what it feels like to feel true pain.
I promise you he will. Well, thank you for joining us for another great installment of In Defense Of. Be on the lookout for the next In Defense Of segment, when we'll try to defend the idea that all lives matter. I'm being told that this will now be the last time that In Defense Of will be aired. Thank you all for watching this segment. We hope you treasured its lengthy run.
MSU Tonight will be right back after these messages, and if you know what's good for you, you'll stay tuned.
Get ready for the hottest playlist of the summer. Let us take you back to all your repressed memories of you being a bratty little child. Introducing, now that's what I call songs to beat your kids to. These 20 tracks will remind you how you felt when you broke your mother's favorite vase, or that time when you hit your brother too hard and he told on you. Including songs like Timmy, Go to Your Room by Halsey. Boy, Get Your $$ over here by DaBaby featuring Megan Thee Stallion. And for our Hispanic audiences, Cuidado con la Chancla by Luis Fonsi featuring Nicky Jam. And much more. Get ready, because you're about to cry yourself to sleep all over again. Now that's what I call songs to beat your kids to. Order now with the number on your screen, or listen on Apple Music or Spotify.
Must be 18 years or older to call.
Now that's what I call songs to beat your kids to.
All right, we've had our little laughs. Thank you for watching tonight's episode. We hope you really enjoyed it. For an April Fool's Day show, we're actually pretty proud of the effort that went into making this possible. So we'd also like to thank everyone on the team for helping put this one together. It really means the world to us.
And we hope you at home enjoy what we do, because we put a lot of love into this show. We're crossing our fingers you have as much fun watching it as we do making it. Maybe. Maybe we'll see you again next Tuesday at 5 p.m. on MSU TV 11.
That's channel 26-3 for those of you watching on campus or on Spectrum.
And if you miss it live, you can check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MSU Tonight for the latest episodes and some of our best segments.
Lastly, be sure to follow us on Twitter at MSU Tonight for regular updates and behind-the-scenes content each week.
Well, that's all for this episode of MSU Tonight. Be sure to join us next week when we'll have
a white wrap. I'd like some turkey, and I'll take some cheddar cheese, please. Yes, I'd like it toasted. That's okay, I can wait.
Yeah, let me get a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper, and make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
And lastly, we'll combine Red Bull and racing fuel for a drink so tasty and energetic, it'll send us straight through life and into the grave.
Talk about living life in the fast lane.
No kidding, Cade.
Remember, folks, if Jesus rose on the third day and you're more concerned about a rabbit who brings you candy, then you're as lost as last year's Easter egg.
Happy Easter, everybody. And April Fool's Day, I guess.